What's the crack, lads? Welcome back. We are with another player of the week video. So we've got no legends this week. We know we're going to be getting Monday. I'll do a video on that as well. We're looking at the players that are going to be coming. Just a quick little look at there. That is what's coming Monday. Gerrard, Parchi Sung and Jack Wilshere, right? I'll do a video on that. But for the player of the week, right? It's kind of a disappointing one. I've talked about player of the week. I still do player of the week videos because I know a lot of people play free to play. They get their free spin and they like to actually spin and get, their free player. If you do get Foden or Rodrygo, they're pretty decent. But the rest of the cards, man, they're just not really it. Like, you've got a very average left back here who's an attacking full back. Pretty decent stats, pretty decent skills. Doesn't have a face either. Some people that frustrate some people, but not a great card. You have Nastathic here as well as a CB, the 31-year-old. Pretty decent card as well. Obviously playing in the league, the English league now, or the Spanish league, I should say. Apologies. Speed is decent for a destroyer. His tackling is pretty decent. He looks pretty decent in the game as well. But none of these player of the weeks, any of these back here, even Scott McTominay's had way better cards before in the past. It's a pretty decent Scott McTominay card, but he's let down, I think, a little bit by his skills. He doesn't have one-touch pass. He does have fighting spirit, apologies, but he doesn't have blocker. That's another thing. You can't train him up. And also, he can only play DMF and CMF. You can't play CB with this version. His other card, you can train him as a CB. Speed and acceleration is pretty decent. Physical contact, pretty decent. His tackling is not that good, though. But he's just an all-round defensive box-to-box. Also, Justin Kluivert. I thought he'd have a better card. He's been beasting lately. And I also thought that we get Amad Diallo as well. We didn't get him. Tight possession, low pass finishing, speed, acceleration, kick and power, balance, ball control, dribbling. Very, very nice 85 to 90 stats. With the booster, you're going to have 90 in a lot of those, which is pretty decent as a whole player. He can only play as an AMF. He can't play SS. He does have double touch, flip flap and soul control. And he does have outside curler, but no one-touch pass, even though he's first-time shot. He's my number one pick, I would think, on this, just for something a little bit different. I thought he'd get a slightly better card, just slightly, maybe to push him up a little bit. Same with Minta here as well, having a great season as well for Brighton. Very, very solid card. Speed, acceleration is there, but the rest of his stats, tight possession is only okay. His finishing is quite poor as well for a prolific winger. It's not bad, but there's just so many prolific wingers now that he's competing against. Also, any of these back here as well. Borrero, not a bad whole player, can play AMF, CMF or DMF. Doesn't have a face. He does have the dreads though. But I do feel like that this card is a bit of a disappointing card as well. I know that he's been beasting as well. In fairness, Konami do pick good players to bring out. I just feel like that the player of the weeks, unless you've been playing the game for less than a month, you probably have better players in your squad. That's the problem, So yeah, pretty decent card as well. Average in all stats and pretty decent. Mangula, of course, playing for Piemont or Juventus. He actually doesn't have a face either, but he does look pretty okay, I suppose, with the in-game face. 85 ball control, dribbling 87 with tight possession 84, finishing 81 as a whole player, but he can't play AMF, so it's a bit of a bust, bit of a waste. Doesn't really have that many good skills either. And then, of course, we do have the goalkeeper, which we don't really need to talk about. Goalkeeper awareness and catching is going to be 90 plus, but yeah, reflexes is 90 as well. Now, on to the three big boys. Rodrygo. Well, I'm going to show you a better version of Rodrygo that I have here in a second, right, which was the free one. And this is him here, 102 prolific winger. This is a really solid card, so I don't think that the player of the week really competes with him, but then again, it's not really meant to. Like, you've got 90 plus in all the stats. You can train him in a different couple of ways as well. He has got double touch and flip flap and soul control off the rip. So I think that this Rodrygo card was insane when they did release him compared to the player of the week now. But still, he's going to go to about 100 overall, depending on what manager that you have. Ball control, dribbling, tight possession, and finishing are all going to be at the thresholds of 90 plus, plus 85 plus for finishing. Speed, acceleration, really strong. Balance, really strong. It's a solid card that if you are a free-to-play player, man, this guy is endgame level for you. Definitely. He's got the technique booster, very good skills, very good stats. One thing lets him down probably is his weak foot actually not being very high when you compare him to the big boys. But yeah, very solid card. The same I'd say about Foden, right? Foden is kind of like Rodrygo without the booster, so he's not quite as good. But still, you're talking about ball control, dribbling, type possession. He's been insane lately. Was it 6 goals and assists, or 4 goals, 4 assists or something in the last 6-7 games for City? He's really turned his season around. The player of the year last year was struggling, but it's a beastly card. I really like the Foden card that was the right midfielder before, so I might try him if I do spin. And then last but not least, we have Darwin Nunez. Can only play CF or left. He can't play right or SS, so that's a bit of a concern. Balance is what lets this card down. Tight possession is what lets this card down. And his finishing is at 87, which is very high with the booster, in fairness. So you will go to 90 plus finishing and attack and awareness. It's an okay card. Super Sub probably saves this card, but he doesn't have area superiority, which I thought he should have. All in all, lads, it's a fairly average, apart from Rodrygo and Foden, it's a fairly average player of the week. Let me know in the comments below, are you guys still spinning player of the week? Are you spinning your free one with the event, or you just moved past it now? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. Talk to you in a bit. Peace.